Epic History TV World War I reaction. Let's get straight into the video.
The great powers of Europe are divided into two rival alliances, the Triple Entente. France, Britain, and Russia, united by fear and suspicion of Germany, Europe's new strongest power. And the Triple Alliance, Germany, which fears encirclement by its rivals, Austria-Hungary, clinging on to a fragile empire, and Italy, seeking gains at French expense.
Yo, this map is kind of poor. Oh, this is the first Epic History map that hasn't been meh. This map is pretty meh. Like, oh, there's a lot of, I'm not gonna hold him for it though.
The spark comes on the 28th of June in the city of Sarajevo. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, is assassinated by a 19-year-old Slav nationalist named Gavrilo Princip. Austro-Hungary accuses its Balkan rival Serbia of having aided the assassin and sends an ultimatum demanding humiliating concessions. Serbia rejects the ultimatum, and Austro-Hungary...
You know what's interesting is that Serbia actually accepted all the demands except for one, interestingly enough. And it's also pretty interesting how Serbia most likely unironically did have something to do with the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
Hungary declares war. Within hours, Austrian forces are shelling Belgrade. The Russian Tsar, Nicholas II, feels honor-bound to defend Serbia, a fellow Slav nation, and orders the Russian army to mobilize. German Emperor Wilhelm II has promised his support to Austro-Hungary. He and his generals see conflict with Russia as inevitable, and the sooner the better, as Russian strength grows year on year. Russian mobilization is used to justify German mobilization, followed by a declaration of war on Russia. Germany knows...
Yo, imagine what would have happened if they were more patient. Well, Germany, actually never mind. They probably would have gotten destroyed. Yeah, it's a good thing that they did that.
War with Russia means war with Russia's ally, France. It has developed the Schlieffen Plan to meet this threat of a war on two fronts. First, its armies will advance rapidly through neutral Belgium to encircle and destroy French armies near Paris and win a quick victory. Then its forces can move east to deal with Russia, whose huge army will take much longer to mobilize. And so Germany declares war on France. 6 million
men mobilized is crazy, but what made them think that Russia would have taken long to mobilize? If everyone was itching for a war, shouldn't they have considered that Russia would have been prepared? Because Russia mobilized much more quicker than expected. That shouldn't be a surprise to anyone because they were both like itching to literally go to war. Interesting.
Men are now marching to war across Europe. Italy, however, remains neutral. The terms of the Triple Alliance don't bind it to join an offensive war. The United States also declares its neutrality. President Wilson...
Whoa, wait, hold on a minute. France declared war on Germany though, right? So technically Italy was supposed to join, right? I don't know. Italy was cut.
And the American public have no desire to get entangled in Europe's war. Britain is France's ally, but at first it's not clear if it will join the war against Germany. But when German troops invade Belgium, whose neutrality Britain has guaranteed, an ultimatum is sent from London to Berlin, demanding they withdraw. It's ignored, and Britain declares war. A British expeditionary force lands in France. while the German invasion is held up for crucial days by Belgian resistance at the fort.
Yo, Belgian? Yo, people gotta give more credit to Belgium, bro. Belgium, if Belgium had fall much more sooner, yo, I'm pretty sure that this whole Western Front would not be a thing.
City of Liège. German troops commit several massacres against Belgian civilians. The atrocities are inflated by Allied propaganda and help turn public opinion in neutral countries against Germany. France, unaware of Germany's great encircling attack, launches Plan 17, an offensive into German territory. But in the Battle of the Frontiers, they're driven back with enormous losses on both sides. The British Expeditionary Force clashes with the German army at Mons. But the
Yo, I didn't know France had a Plan 17. I never knew about that. Wow. Yo, this is the thing that I like about history, bro. Like, there's always something new to learn. Freaking hell. Like, I know a bit of World War I history, but yo, I never knew that France had a Plan 17. Wow.
British are heavily outnumbered and soon join the French in retreat. The Allies make their stand at the River Marne, 40 miles outside Paris. Their desperate counterattack saves the city and drives the Germans back. Both sides suffer 250,000 casualties.
Bro, 14 miles from Paris? That is literally to Barbados. Barbados is 21 miles long. 14 miles? Bro, that's literally to Barbados. And bro, oh wow, they were very close. Wow.
The race to the sea begins as both sides try to outflank each other to the north. A series of clashes leads to the First Battle of Ypres, where the Allies desperately cling on and prevent a German breakthrough. There are more heavy losses on both sides.
Okay, so first of all, why didn't Germany attack up north earlier if the flanks were open? Same thing with the Allies. Like, I knew Germany wanted to go to Paris so much, but why didn't they attack up north if the flanks were open? Come on now. Can someone answer that for me?
The two armies then dig in along the entire 350-mile front, seeking shelter from deadly machine gun fire and artillery shells. Trench warfare has begun. British warships win the first naval battle of the war.
Ooh. Naval war. That's my favorite part. I love naval war. Ooh. Critically overlooked. More people need to talk about the Navy.
At Heligoland Bight, sinking 3 German cruisers. Britain has the most powerful navy in the world, 29 modern battleships to Germany's 19. They now impose a naval blockade on Germany, preventing contraband goods, including food, from reaching it by sea. The aim is to bring Germany's economy to its knees and force it to surrender. But a week later, the British cruiser HMS Pathfinder becomes the first victim in history of a lethal new weapon, the submarine-launched torpedo.
Yo, U-boat. Bro, it's crazy, bro. How did Britain not get starved from U-boats in World War I? Do you know how close? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna see if he's gonna talk about it, but yo, it's, bro, like, how in the world did U-boats not beat Britain? Especially in World War I, bro. World War I? You'd think that U-boats would actually beat them. Wow. It's wow.
German submarines, or U-boats, have a surface range of 9,000 miles and can attack undetected from beneath the waves. They herald a deadly new challenge to Britain's command of the seas.
Are you still using Google? Then I have something to show you.
On the Eastern Front, Russian armies invade East Prussia. But they blunder into disaster at the Battle of Tannenberg, where General von Hindenburg and his Chief of Staff, Erich Ludendorff, mastermind a brilliant German victory, taking 90,000 prisoners and destroying an entire Russian army.
You know, I watched the Eastery reaction. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. But I watched the Eastery World War One reaction, and he goes into more detail in what happened here. And the freaking Russian communications were stupidly intercepted. Like, imagine if the Russian communications were not intercepted. It's wow.
The Russians contribute to their own defeat by transmitting uncoded wireless messages. A second
See?
massive German victory at Masurian Lakes forces the Russians into retreat. In just 6 weeks, the Russian army suffers nearly 250,000 casualties.
Bro, the population of Barbados is 280,000 people. This is more than the population of Barbados. That is mad.
Meanwhile, Austro-Hungary's invasion of Serbia suffers a humiliating reverse at the Battle of Tser. Austro-Hungary's offensive against Russia also ends in disaster and retreat, with the loss of more than 300,000 men. The fortress town of Przemysl is cut off and besieged by the Russians. The Germans are forced to come to the rescue, launching a diversionary attack towards Warsaw. It leads to weeks of brutal winter fighting around the Polish city of Łódź, but there is no clear winner. Meanwhile, the Turkish Ottoman Empire has joined the Central Powers, declaring war on its old enemy, Russia. Turkish war.
Yo, Turkey. Turkey need to even so like I was saying earlier, Turkey really even need to join the war? Because the way how Turkey joined the war was so unnecessary, and honestly, I feel like if Turkey wanted to save their empire, because this is why Turkey joined the war if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. Turkey joined the war because they wanted to save their empire that was crumbling, and they probably should have joined the Entente. No, that's like hindsight, but who knows?
Turkish warships bombard the Russian ports of Odessa and Sevastopol, while in the Caucasus, Russian troops cross the Turkish frontier. Beyond Europe, the war rages on the world's oceans and in far-flung European colonies. German troops cross into British East Africa, modern Kenya, and occupy Taveta, while Allied forces seize the German colony of Togoland, modern Togo. But British forces invading German Cameroon are defeated at Garoua and Nsangakong, while a 3,000-strong force attacking German Southwest Africa, modern Namibia, is captured at Sandfontein. A month later, British landings at Tanga end in chaos and defeat at the hands of a much smaller German force led.
Yo, Germans in Africa are actually doing work. Yo, dude, the Germans in their colonies, because I know that originally, right, the countries had originally agreed that they wouldn't put their colonies at war, they wouldn't invade their colonies. But as soon as World War One started, everyone just threw out that, everyone was screw that. But damn, despite the fact that German colonies are basically isolated, okay, I'm impressed.
By Colonel von Lettow-Vorbeck. Cut off from Germany, Lettow-Vorbeck goes on to wage a highly successful guerrilla war against the Allies, tying down huge numbers of troops. In Asia, Japan honors its treaty with Britain and declares war on Germany. Japanese forces go on to seize the German naval base at Tsingtao. The German colonies of Samoa and New Guinea surrender to troops from New Zealand and Australia.
Bro, it's crazy to me how, like, Germany in World War I was so, like, squeezed up. You know, like, Germany was very surrounded. They did not have much. Especially when America joined. Ooh. Wow.
But in the Pacific, off the coast of Chile, German Admiral von Spee's powerful East Asia squadron sinks 2 British cruisers at the Battle of Coronel. Both ships are lost with all hands. 5 weeks later, he runs into a British naval task force at the Falkland Islands. 4 of the 5 German cruisers are sunk.
Wait, 4 of the 5 German cruisers? Oh.
Spee goes down with his flagship. Meanwhile, in the Middle East, British troops seize control of the Ottoman port of Basra, securing access to the vital Persian oil that fuels the British fleet.
Fun fact, Caribbean troops actually served in the Middle East, specifically around Palestine.
That winter, Austrian troops finally capture Belgrade. But the Serbs then counterattack and drive them back once more. The fighting in Serbia has already cost around 200,000 casualties on each.
Dude, Serbia is ultra giga chat. They were basically cut off from everyone, and they still fought on hard. So hard, in fact, that it took Bulgaria to join the war for them to finally defeat Serbia. I gotta give credit where credit is due.
Side. In the North Sea, German warships mount a hit-and-run raid against English coastal towns, shelling Hartlepool, Whitby and Scarborough, and killing more than 100 civilians.
I never knew that. I thought that the Germans were completely bottled in. Wow, I actually never knew that. Holy crap.
On the Western Front, the French launched their first major offensive against the German lines. But the First Battle of Champagne leads to small gains at a cost of 90,000 casualties. While in the Caucasus, an Ottoman offensive through the mountains in midwinter ends in disaster at Sarikamish. Turkish casualties total 60,000. Many.
Wow. This is a lot of people. Again, bro. The population of Barbados is 280,000 people. This is a lot of deaths, bro.
Frozen to death. On the Western Front, that first Christmas is marked in some sectors by a short truce and games of football in no man's land, the killing zone between the trenches.
You know, it's crazy to me how people could they could kill them, and then they went and played football and have games with them. The Christmas truce of World War I is very interesting, because it's like, how do you go from killing people to having fun with them? Bro, it goes to show you that, bro, like, we're all just human. You know, like, we're all just innocent people. Well, mostly. But yo, it's so surreal though. Think about it. I mean, in some sectors there were still killings and shootings, I know that. But how in the world do you go from freaking killing people to just playing football with them? Like, wow. Hey, that was a good part. Check out these videos right here. If you like my Epic History TV reactions, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe.